Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here, filling in for Leland. Ooh, another banner night last night for the wackadoodles in the Democrat Party. I don't even know what to call them. I mean, they're progressive socialists. They're absolutely crazy. Okay, the more of them that get elected, the more we see what they wish to accomplish in Congress and across the country. I've got two quick clips here of one of the winners of last night's Colorado elections. This is a woman who unseated a long-serving U.S. representative, Diana DeGette, in Colorado's primary elections that were held last night. Um, big victory for the Mamdani side of the party, for the AOCs, for the side of the party that has no problem, taking or celebrating um, their craziness. So we've got her. We've got a couple clips of her. All right, we're gonna go to the first one.
If Democrats take the House and you win, you would be part of a group of Democratic Socialists in the House who similarly could extract concessions or could hold up the entire Democratic agenda. What is your thought process about how that would play out?
That's the goal. The goal is to build out a coalition of members that are committed to these ideas and these policies.
If Democrats take the House.
Okay, so that's her first clip. The second clip is a clip of her following her win. Well, possibly. Oh.
We will not wait! We will not wait to take the fight to Donald Trump and the oligarchy. We will not wait. We will not wait to abolish ICE and pass Medicare for all.
All right. So this is what we've got coming in for the Democrats. You want to, everybody kind of, there's a foregone conclusion in midterm elections related to turnout. Well, we still got that seat to pick up here in Alabama. Jeff Poore was on yesterday. We were talking about CD2 right here. They got the maps back. We were not able to get a 7-0 map, so we're going to be, but it looks like Terry Sewell is going to get a run for her money. There is a candidate opposing her, and we actually need to talk about that a little later today. But the Democrats, this is what they're electing now. This is who they're electing now. I'm on this woman's website, and it is exactly what you would expect. Medicare for all, end all wars, abolish ICE, universal, not just childcare. No, she wants universal childcare and elder care. So we're going to go ahead and put that cost on everybody. She's got a whole section on her website. Tell me if this all sounds familiar. This is again the Democrats. We've watched the Bernies of the world. We've watched the AOCs of the world. They're kind of mainstreaming these positions. Tax the rich, very big section in her policy priorities. Again, child care and elder care for everyone. Too many families. She wants to ensure that there is government funded child care and elder care. Oh, she wants to go back. Housing is very important. She basically wants to take over the whole housing market, tax the rich, and really upset about corporate taxes and CEOs. Of course, it's like the same playbook for all of them. By the way, when have we seen high-speed rail work? When have we not seen these insane rail projects? But she's gonna bring them anyway. It goes on and on. They're going to take over the utilities, make all utilities public-owned utilities. Of course, we cannot. We have to do gerrymandering from the left is okay. It's that she's all for it. She's calling for the changing the gerrymandering, and it's basically everybody gets to be a Democrat. She actually gives a shout out on her page to one of Terry Sewell's bills. She's going to get the money out of politics. There's a really long thing here. These people. Oh, there's a whole section here. Immigration. We don't. We got to abolish ICE. Get rid of all ICE because they are, and this is a quote, kidnapping innocent people off our streets. I go back to that first clip. This is what she wants, and this is what they're going to say. They're going to say they're going to take over Congress. They're going to take over the House of Representatives. And then much like the Tea Party conservatives, the Freedom Caucus conservatives did, where they pushed Republicans to the right. No, this new breed of Democrats are going to push, not that you need to push Hakeem Jeffries much more to the left, but that's what they're going to do. I feel like we got to pay very close attention to what is happening around our country, because it's not even like they're keeping this agenda secret anymore. It's not like they're even hiding it. This is what they say they want. I'm kind of scrolling down her page. It is absolutely okay. Confront hate in all forms, including Islamophobia, but she does no place for anti-black racism. How about just racism? No, they don't do that on the left. On the left, you cannot be racist if you're white. Remember, she very clearly believes that. She's got a lot to say about Muslims, by the way. She wants a trans Bill of Rights. This is becoming the mainstream left. This is who we're fighting. When we don't turn out to vote and Terry Sewell wins again, that's another vote towards this craziness. If we don't keep up the pressure and keep up the heat, even in the CD2 down there in Montgomery and in lower Alabama, this is what we're getting. I cannot say enough that I want us to go back and fix our maps so they're 7-0. Why? Because we cannot continue to have a vote from Alabama for this. We cannot continue to allow what they're going to do in the House if they get full control, because this is what they want. I could keep going. Let's see. She's got gun control here, climate change, LGBTQIA rights, reproductive justice, and by that we of course know they mean killing all the babies they want to kill. This is their agenda. They're no longer hiding it, and we're seeing it in states. We've got Colorado, we've got New York, we've got Texas running a candidate who's this crazy. We've always expected it from certain states, and we've always expected the left to police their own, where this is the ones that believe this stuff are put in their own little corner. But no, this is becoming the forward-facing left. And with every primary election where, and I'm not saying that those being defeated are necessarily the best representatives, but they're eking out and pushing out their own moderates. And this is what we're going to see more and more of, and who we're going to hear more and more from. So putting that on your radar in case you missed those primaries last night. The numbers keep racking up. There was a point in time we could look at the squad and kind of laugh a little bit and go, well, those women, you know, there's a couple of them. We know exactly who they are. We know exactly what they're saying. But with every passing day, it looks like their squad is getting bigger and bigger, and that's who we're going to have to contend with. That's who Trump's going to have to contend with. That's who Republicans are going to have to contend with as we try to pass budgets and try to get legislation done. This is why we look at what they're trying to do now. We look at coming off of these SCOTUS decisions. We need our Congress taking action. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll jump into more of these headlines. Hold tight. It's April Marie. Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here, filling in for Leland, bouncing back and forth between these national headlines and state headlines. Like to keep an eye out on what's going on kind of across the country. Was just talking about those congressional races in Colorado. It's really kind of crazy watching the left come out and defend these candidates who are openly anti American values. Whether you've got the guy in Texas apologizing for being a white man and for his Christianity, he's really struggling. He wants everybody to know he's a good Christian, and on the other hand, he wants everybody. He wants to give a speeches talking about how he hates Christianity. It's a hot mess. Okay, that's what we've got going on here. We've of course got Planter in his history with women. You're starting to watch. We're starting to watch the left have to figure this out. For years, they would take any comment out of context from the right and then try to make everybody on the right own it. And now here they have people who aren't just saying crazy things in private. This is what they believe. This is who they are. They're putting these things on their websites. They've got people walking around defending them. They're out there giving speeches related to this stuff. It's seriously bonkers town is what it is. Darwin on the phone. How's it going?
Hello. Hey, just fine. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
I want to talk about this immigration mess.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's been plaguing the United States since the 70s is when it really started getting bad. And, you know, Reagan ended up having to give amnesty across the board, and they promised that it would never happen again. Well, it always comes back to that one sentence there, you know, where you have jurisdiction over the child. You know, what does that mean? And what's going to happen is somebody needs to get together, team of lawyers, and clean the language up and then have an amendment to the 14th Amendment or have an amendment that will banish the 14th Amendment and take its place.
Well, and Trip Roy was talking about that yesterday. He was saying, no, we don't need to go amending the Constitution. Congress needs to do its job and put protections in place to prohibit this from happening.
Well, that would work except for one thing. If you do that, then the people in Congress right now, they're gonna block it. They slow rolled anything Trump has out right now. And if you go around and do it the long way where it has to be ratified and all that, Democrats have people that have children that's going to have to go to work too. And with all this labor and stuff that's going on, they're going to have to vote for it whether they like it or not. They may have to hold their nose, you know, to vote for it, but they will.
Well, I mean,
whereas if you
We've got Democrats. We've got Democrats, and a whole slew of them, by the way, running on an anti-ICE platform. You've got Republicans too scared to be openly supporting ICE. They've really backed off as the election has come to a head. What we have to do is we have to realize what's at stake come these midterms, and they really need to get to governing.
Yeah, we've been trying to get Congress to do that. The only time they're unified is when they're voting themselves a raise.
That seems to be the case, Darwin. Well, I appreciate the call.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Yeah, this is going to be one of those situations, and Roy has already hit the floor of the House to give several speeches on birthright citizenship, saying Congress has got to fix this. He says, I have no interest in continuing to fund the operations of a government that has been undermined by the U.S. Supreme Court. He says the constitutional amendment, this is the job for Congress right now, and a job that they've been putting off for far too long. He said, if what we've got to do is stop immigration altogether until this problem is solved, then that's what we've got to do. Now, of course, nobody has the belly for that in Washington, D.C. They're cowards. Know, even though they know that the mainstream media will lie to them, they know that just about anything that they do is gonna be exploited by the likes of, your CNN, your MSNBC, your NPRs, heck, your AL.coms. I mean, it doesn't take don't have to look far from home to watch the way that every vote done by Tuberville and Britt, the way that they are scrutinized over here, right in this within the state. And so yeah, there's tough choices to be made, and they absolutely need to be making them, and they need to not put it off any further. They will, because they're Winston, because the midterms are here, and it seems more and more we're seeing what's at stake, and so too many members of our of Congress are just ignoring that. President Trump still talking at the rally in North Dakota. I was looking during the break. He was brought into the event and kind of welcomed there. Man, I don't have the video now. With by members of riding horseback. Did you see that, AJ? It's like the presidential motorcade was joined by a bunch of horses.
No, I did not see that. I need to look that up.
It's pretty good over here. Okay, we've got other things going on today. For those here in the state who will be using the Choose Act next year. You can find this story over at 1819 News. The ESAs, the Education Savings Accounts, has been fully funded for parents who are taking advantage of the program. Now, the Choose Act, for those who are unfamiliar, it was signed into law in 2024, and then based on income and a few other criteria, some with disabilities and learning disabilities, and a few other things. The money has been released over the years. This year, a record number of applications with 49,000 students seeking to take advantage of the program. Ended up with 34,000 students getting approval, which it equals up to about 174 million in education savings accounts. We're going to have I mentioned Ernie Yarbrough with us, and we're going to talk about, he'll be here for this at 4 o'clock. We're going to talk about school choice and why so many families, and it's not just here in Alabama. I'm in homeschool family groups that are nationwide, and parents who are realizing that our education system is the one size fits all isn't working, realizing that the teachers unions are working against their values, realizing that there's better options out there, and whether it's private school, whether it's homeschool, whether it's a micro school, the small schools we're seeing more and more people take advantage of, online, in person. There's just so many options available now. It's that money, if you are a Choose Act recipient, people starting to see that in their accounts right now. We'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to Leland Live with April Murray. Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here, filling in for Leland. We've got State Representative Ernie Yarbrough on his way in. So if we time this just right, I'll be able to go grab him during the next break. But we'll see how that works. I was just over here talking about this crazy pants from Colorado, and I look up, and now Will Cain is discussing it on his show. He says she is the 28th candidate that is pushing this same DSA platform to get elected to get through a primary on the left. 28, okay? What in the world is going to happen if the Democrats take control of the House in the midterms? Imagine how much they used the impeachment processes and all of the things to go after Trump in his first term. Trump has had, I think we're going to look back, and you don't even have to look back because we're living it now, right? You see the ways in which Trump and his administration and the policies he's put forth have been under attack. In the first term, they used the House. It was multiple impeachments, it was investigations, and Trump was distracted to, they accomplished that. They went after him. They went after his supporters. You kind of follow this along. Trump term 2 has been, and even leading up to Trump term 2, it's warfare. It's lawfare. It's using the court systems, using whether it was, the search of Mar-a-Lago, the charges in Georgia, everything the courts have done to him in New York. It's just straight up, not even trying to hide it. We will use the court system to do what we were not able to accomplish at the ballot boxes, and we will come after you. And so, you put not just Democrats back in charge of the House, you put the most rabid, radical, leftist, communist, socialist Democrats back in charge there, and it's going to be an ever-loving nightmare. This is, I feel like so many of us get frustrated at the gridlock in Washington, D.C., because we saw this first term, too. There is no reason that they have not been able to accomplish so many of the things that we've wanted to accomplish. I get we have a razor-thin margin. I get we have turncoats, especially in the Senate, who continues to vote with Democrats. But I just feel like so strongly that we have not fully done the best we can. Had a Congress that's done the best it could supporting him. What they're getting right now, the left, this is what they wanted. This is what all of those protests over the years was building up to. All of the activists that they got from the early BLM days, and you kind of continue all the way through to the No Kings. You had the Free Palestine, the claims of genocide. This is all of that coming to fruition. They have mobilized people through all of these other options to oppose Trump, and then they have taken that energy and they have used it, and now the craziest among them are turning out. And that's what happens when we have voter turnout, and we see it in Republican areas too. Our turnout here for our runoff elections was absolutely abysmal. This should be a wake-up call. Now, will it be a wake-up call? I don't know. But it should be a wake-up call, not just in liberal areas where this is who's going to be representing them, but across the country. What we do here in Alabama matters. It matters that we're sending 6, not 7 Republicans to Congress. It matters that we didn't get back in there and redraw those maps. It matters that that we need to get boots on the ground, getting out the vote in all of the places where it could be close, right here in the state of Alabama. Joan Reynolds, who ran for party chairwoman, lost to Scott Stadhagen. Joan Reynolds does this thing every year where she sends people out to swing states to get out to vote in those big elections. We have to do more of this. We have to meet fire with fire and actually get out from behind the keyboard and get out and do the work. I went and went back in Georgia when they had one of the Senate races there. You got to reach out to your family and friends. Make sure, it's not enough just to post on social media. We're not going to defeat the Democrat socialist behind the keyboard. We're going to defeat them at the ballot boxes. We're going to defeat them from getting the mainstream media to have to cover who they are and what really they want, and make every Democrat. I said this earlier. Is how does a Doug Jones run from what his party has become? How does everyone running with a D beside their name? How do they separate themselves if they're going to from this? Because this is what they have allowed to take over their party, and it's been little by little. It's been an almost incremental. Changes that they've allowed. Okay, well, we're not going to say anything because we're going to be called, during all the BLM stuff, we're not going to say anything because we're going to be called racist. Okay, then you fast forward. We're not going to say anything about how extreme people have gotten in fighting ICE because we don't want to be seen as supporting the what Trump is trying to do, so we're going to back off of that. During all of the stuff with the pro-Palestine, aka we're going to support terrorists, those movements. We're gonna really alienate people. No, they have to get out and they have to own this, or they have to shut it down. And this is the position that Republicans across the country need to be putting them in. This is what the media needs to be talking about. No more getting distracted. No making excuses for it. I'm looking over right now at CNN, and this is something they're going to have a reckoning with. Is this who their party is? We watched within the Republican Party the evolutions of it over the years. When I first became involved with the Republican Party, it was during those Tea Party years, and the Tea Party back then was fighting establishment Republicans. And I'd say, it's been kind of fun watching in Alabama as the more mainstream Republicans, with the exception of a Katie Britt or a Richard Shelby type, we've got more principled people coming into office. We've got more principled people running for office. We've got more principled people standing up and taking the banner of where we want this state to go. The days of a Kay Ivey being able to be elected in Alabama, I don't see it. I don't see it again. I see us moving further to the right, which is what we need to do. And how we accomplish that is that we get people into the party system. We get people out there running for office. We get people out there knocking on doors and volunteering for campaigns and making sure that it wasn't just, the BCA in the state of Alabama who could get somebody elected. It was the voters, the people with the values that are so important, who was watching other states do laps around us. So we're not immune to our own election troubles here. But as we watch this happen around the country, I think this is an opportunity for us as conservatives. I wholeheartedly, I'll say, I'm not just a conservative, I'm a Republican, because I think it's so important for us to take ownership in the party that we want to grow and build and make sure people match our values. All right, I'm going to take a quick break here. When we come back, I want to talk about the two people, if you missed it, two people who have scaled. Is it what is it over here in New York? Oh man, I closed the window. Okay, we're going to talk about, here it is. Okay, the Empire State Building. There you go. Two daredevils climbed the top of the Empire State Building with a flyer. Kind of crazy thing on their way down. It was a boyfriend-girlfriend, some Russian YouTubers who did this. On their way down, the man can be seen proposing to a woman. Shortly thereafter, they were taken into police custody. But we'll talk about what their signs said, how they did it, and what we know. Hold tight. Back in just a minute. Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here, filling in for Leland. State Representative Ernie Yarbrough. Did I say that right? I feel like I always mess up your last name.
You did. So we said there's two ways. There's Yarborough.
Yarborough.
And Yarbrough.
Bro.
So burrow like a hobbit.
There you
and
go.
Bro, like I'm cool. So
Okay.
I'm actually a
so
bro.
either of those two. You're Burrow.
I'm bro. Like
Oh, you
I'm
are
cool.
bro.
I'm bro.
Okay, noted. Got it. I
Yeah.
feel like, by the way, we had a whole conversation about this at one point at 1819. So
Well, and in all fairness,
Yarborough.
in all fairness, in Lawrence County, it all gets changed to Yarber.
How do they say it?
Yarber.
Yeah. Okay, that's not even close though.
No, but it's like redneck, y'all bonics slang. I don't know, whatever.
That's
So-
funny. Well, you're in town for the event at Algop tonight.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
Are you cooking? Is that what I
am.
understand?
Yes, we're having a huge crawfish boil.
Okay, there you go. And I don't know if tickets. If you haven't gotten your tickets, there was an opportunity online, but there is an event there tonight. As I was going to commercial break, because I've been talking about the leftists. They're now up to 28 of the Democrat socialists getting elected. They're basically eating their own.
Wow.
The moderate, if such a beast existed in Congress, the moderates are getting just defeated by these absolute crazy town people.
Yeah.
But I was taking a break. I don't know if you saw this. This afternoon, 2 daredevils climbed the Empire State Building, and and with a sign. Apparently, they just do this for funsies. This is a girlfriend-boyfriend couple. They post online their death-defying skyscraper climbs. Officials aren't even sure how they got up there because there's an observation deck, and they managed to climb up that. But here's what cracked me up. As they were coming down, before they got arrested, he proposed to her on top of the Empire State Building. And I have to say, I'm not mad about that.
Yeah.
They've apparently been doing this together a while, and he just stops and proposes to her.
Pun intended. How do you top that?
Yeah, right? That's amazing.
Wow.
So
Wow.
she
That's
gets
crazy
She
town.
gets a couple pictures in before the cops come and arrest them. So she can be seen taking some pictures of the ring he gave her on top of the Empire State Building.
Yeah, you won't be able to replicate those pictures.
No.
That's incredible.
That is crazy.
Was it last year or year before? I actually had to go. I was in Dubai.
Oh,
And
wow.
I went to the Burj Khalifa or whatever, which is the tallest in the world, and that's all that. I mean, it feels about the same at some point because you're just like
you're just that
you're
high
just
up.
so high up, and it's quite the view. But I can't up there. I think it was at like only like 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever people have been to the top of the Burj, like the very very tippity top.
And you got to go?
No. Like it's like Tom Cruise.
Oh, okay.
For a movie.
Oh, got it.
Like I mean like at the out
Very
in the
top.
air. Like we were at the top
You were at the
for what
visitors part,
the
yeah.
visitors top. Right, as opposed to Tom Cruise shooting a movie up there in a harness, top like them.
Like them, like they just did.
Yeah.
The top of the building is 1,454 feet above ground. The officials are saying they weren't sure how they got into the position to free climb the metal structure. They basically climbed up a broadcast antenna, and there's an anti-collision beacon up there that they climbed. But sure enough, there's a picture of her taking a picture of her engagement ring after he proposed and before the police got to them. So
Wow.
they had a sign, and I was just looking over here. Apparently, by the way, they've been featured on a Netflix documentary, Skywalkers: A Love Story, and so they're pretty famous. I somehow have missed them until today. The banner, which has now been recovered. It had the lyrics, had a Jimi Hendrix lyrics, or quote, when the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace.
Huh.
That was the banner they took up there.
That's kind of cool.
So I mean, can't get mad about that. It wasn't a,
Right.
it wasn't a
It
crazy.
wasn't like a we hate America kind of thing. Actually, that quote reminds me, as we laugh, we say everything goes back to Lord of the Rings. That quote I see that, yeah. That quote reminds me. You remember when Thorin is dying in the movie, at least, and he says in there, if more men valued home above gold, this place would be a merry world indeed.
Indeed. Well,
and anyway, that kind of reminded me of that.
that is
A
right
little
along those lines.
Yeah.
All right. So so we're going to talk in the next segment because I want to come in clean on this. I was mentioning the school choice numbers. So we're going to talk about that.
Sure.
We'll talk a little bit about the event. Last night, you did not make it to Katie Britt's event. I was saying she threw a 250th bash. You got
We were
stuck
on
in
our way.
traffic.
Yeah, terrible wreck. It was really sad. It was like a semi truck and 5 cars and a fatality. It was really bad.
Oh, no.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it was. We were actually.
Prayers to that family.
Yes, for sure. We were actually en route getting all the crawfish and all the things, and we're
for
on our
today.
way back with it when that happened. And you're stuck. It was just a complete logjam. We couldn't move.
Wow. Okay. So yes, we're celebrating as a state the 250th anniversary of our nation, Independence Day. I mentioned earlier some of the events going on. If you haven't made plans, there are things just about in every city, a lot lining up so that you can go to multiple events at once. Tonight, of course, is the Hoover. You can go watch the soccer game, watch fireworks. They're going to break a world record for the most aluminum cans opened at once. They've got, according to the city councilman, they've got someone coming in. I guess Guinness flies someone in to witness the record. So they flew someone in from Canada to be here. Which I'm thoroughly entertained by because they'll get to see all of the Independence Day festivities that are happening there tonight. So,
and have you seen all the videos of all the people, like the Europeans discovering America and ruled America?
I'm obsessed with it.
It's been like chicken soup for my soul.
It really is. This is a better thing. I really think in terms of understanding, just how great our nation is.
Yep.
You know, the ability for these people to come over and then just travel, visit our restaurants. The kindness showed to them, how welcoming businesses were, how welcoming. I mean, the guy, Freddie, who ended up leaving, and I was going to talk about that later too. Freddie ended up leaving social media because, sure enough, he was doxxed, and somebody went back and was going through all of his feed and found posts of him saying that you can be racist against whites. And apparently you can't say that. So the left was going after him.
All right.
This is a guy who has made from his trip, starting right here in Alabama, from his visit to Auburn, made it across the country, got to meet Ella Langley, go to a concert, just had some really cool experiences. And the internet turned into what the internet is. He at least had the wherewithal to last night say, okay, I'm tapping out. You guys, this has been fun. We've enjoyed this, but now we're going to move on. Yeah. But I've really loved the people, especially we've had great people come to Alabama and get to explore.
Yeah, I saw one. They came. It was at Homewood or somewhere. I forget, this fire department.
Oh, did they?
And they were. and this guy walks up, and all the firefighters have these awesome like classic firefighter mustaches.
Oh yeah.
And they're doing like a CrossFit workout in the bay, waiting on a call to come in.
Yep.
And he was just, and they were just like, "Come on, join us," and just it was great.
That's classic. We have seen some really good Southern hospitality here. All right, we're going to come back. We're going to start talking a little bit of policy. Hold tight. April Marie and Ernie, I'm not going to butcher your last name, back in a minute. Yarborough.